So, we'll be discussing today active participation as a catalyst in language acquisition. Before diving in the theory, by the way, I would like to share that all the videos, photos depicted by me, shared by me, are taken from my own traditional lessons. I would like to share my own experience with you. Before diving into theory, I want you to watch a video and share your ideas with me. By the way, those students are here, somewhere here watching me. So, how to start it? But it doesn't work. Thank you. What does active participation mean to you, to your experience? Who wants to share his or her experience with me? As I know, we all are teachers here, and please don't hesitate to express your views, ideas. Yeah, please.
Thanks a lot for being objective, for asking your answer. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Hədəf. I work at school number 297.
Amazing.
Situated in BEYNÄLXALQ district, and I think active participation, it means, how to say, activities. It means activities, active participation, it means activities which used in the class by using some activities. For example, I want to share one of them.
Okay, please, of course.
For example, from my point of view, it is needed to say that we use these activities, and in this way we improve our students' speaking, their creative thinking. I take some papers and write down questions.
Wow.
Yes, then I wrap them and make a ball. Then I show it to one my student. He or she read it and answer to the question. Then after answering, he or she threw it to his or her friend. And in this way, we continuously how to say, till the last page.
Thank you so much. Let's applaud Ms. Hatira. Thank you so much, Ms. Hatira, for your invaluable idea. Who do you think should be responsible for just conducting active lesson? Are those teachers or students? What do you think? Students? So, both of them? Yeah? Amazing. So, both, not only students, but also teachers should be very active in participating in the lesson. However, the most significant person who should be held accountable for conducting such creative environments, I would say healthy environment, is a teacher. So for doing it, we teachers need to inspire our students. So there are various types of motivating them. It highly depends on the class, it highly depends on the students, and of course, it highly depends on their environment and their just desires as well. So some of them I'm going to be sharing with you. When a teacher sees that, for instance, that is morning, students just are a little bit reluctant to participate in the lesson, teacher might play. Oh, okay, so I suppose it's impossible to play it, yeah? Well. of it. So one of them is playing music for making students feel interacted and engaged in the lesson. Another one is making students feel that a teacher is a part of their group. So that is not common in universities only. Just due to being a university lecturer, don't think that I can only implement it there. It can be implemented both in schools and universities and even kindergartens as well. Or when the teacher asks students to prepare a project and introduce it, but because of some external and internal factors, students can be shy, or I don't know, sometimes just timid. A teacher needs to encourage them by participating in introduction of such, let's say, project by herself. Again, I need help. So which one? Yes. But I did it. Okay, thank you.
They are creative, they are doing everything best. They are doing the best plan for their customers. We have enough time in order to promote our business.
So to be perfectly honest with you, I feel very emotional in such videos. The reason is that I can feel their emotions, I can feel their sincerity. When they see that a teacher is a part of them, the teacher is not only a teacher, but also an inspirational person for them to be very active in the lesson. When they feel that a teacher does her utmost in order for them to learn something, not just by only passively listening to them, but also just even putting herself, first in front of them. So that is what makes the environment, educational environment, safer and healthier. That is how students can be motivated, inspired. So today's topic is, as I mentioned some minutes ago, active learning just as a catalyst. So this topic is too close to my heart. The reason is that I believe it not only creates a good environment, supports learners, learning environment, but also it transforms the education system completely. And education, learning sticks best when it aligns with naturally how our brains work. What do you think how our brains work when it comes to learning, when it comes to learning process? What do you think? How does our brain work? So okay, just let me simplify the question. How do you learn nowadays? So how do we learn? Do we learn, sorry? Sorry? Just generally, not only English language. Let's talk. Oh, amazing. That is an amazing method. Through teaching, so you learn the best through teaching. But just now let's think about your children, okay? How do they learn? Amazing. So some minutes ago, Mr. Francesco just mentioned kinesthetic learners, auditory learners, yes? You see, that is how people learn. Naturally, we learn by moving. You can't learn by just sitting and learning it specifically nowadays. When just the world is driven with technology, when all students have their phones, when they might feel the lesson boring, and they might feel that playing with their phone or getting some information from ChatGPT is more effective than learning from teacher, just listening to only teacher. That is the reason why we need to implement some techniques. One of them is brain-friendly learning technique. It involves movement, it involves listening, it involves touching, everything. However, teacher is responsible here for providing everything, every single tool for a student. So first, as you saw, I provided them with everything, every single tool for them to learn how to teach. And how to teach not only to adult learners, but also young learners. And then, it needs to have voice. Yes. Okay, students are here.
Better. Yeah, better how others. So you have any sort of that. There to tell me, students and students. We are doing called.
Sure. I asked them to have a just project related to teaching students vocabulary about crime. First, I gave them vocabulary about crime. Oh, sorry. And then after learning them, they just prepared something, they draw something, they painted something, where they might encourage students to talk about what is given there on the picture. And then it was a good example for students and teachers to teach by experiencing, by making students experience it. So that was how they taught something, how they first learned and they taught. Do you think that it can be an effective way? What do you think? So do you use it? Does anyone use it in her classes? So you? Okay, very good. So the next method is metacognition. Metacognition is to think what to think. So it means it teaches people how to think. And we have several activities for teaching our students how to teach and how to teach what they learn. We have fishbowl and ball pass. As Ms. Khatira some minutes ago mentioned, she used ball pass, but in a different way. She just used it in order to motivate her students. But in ball pass, you can have a ball, and you might have a circle of your students, put the balls to one of them, and ask a question that what the hardest part of the lesson was for you. So it means that after the lesson, after teachers just presenting the presentation, after teachers' explanation, the students might have some time to think that what seems to be the hardest for me or what is challenging for me, and then the teacher can change their questions to more complex ones. For instance, what would you do as a teacher for making it more easy for other students to understand? Those, and even we have fishbowl, and in fishbowl, students might be grouped in two groups as a circle. So we might have one inner circle and one outer circle. In inner circle, students will be given a topic and they might discuss a topic. However, students in outer circle, as a first step, will hear them, will listen to them, and take some notes about the discussion. Maybe they don't agree. They might have some points that they might want to change it. They take a note, and after it, they exchange their ideas with one another about what to change and how to change. That is how we inspire our students to think what to think. Then we have project-based learning. In project-based learning, teachers' responsibility, teachers' role becomes more backstage. So by that I mean, a teacher here, for example, in some reflective methods, teachers were responsible for explaining first, creating good environment for them to do everything, to think or something like that. But in here, teacher's role is only information as an information giver. The teacher will give the information and then stand outside. Only will just control their activity, control their participation by sometimes asking some questions without interfering in their groups and without interfering in their ideas, results, and causes. So here the most significant thing is teaching students differentiating causes from consequences, theories from explanations. Various topics can be given here in project-based method. So I had one. I gave a problem to my students. It was about natural resources. It was about global problems and the depletion of natural resources and other global problems. And I asked them to, first of all, find out the causes, then consequences, and then after some time, for example, they were given 10 minutes to think about them all, and after 10 or 15 minutes, I asked them to realize, to just think out, devise some solutions to grapple with the problem. And that is how we worked on it. Video. And after finding out everything, I inspired them to go to another room, to another group, and present everything. So you see, they go to another class, and they present all the causes, consequences, possible solutions. And the most significant thing is getting result here. So you see, they raise their hands. They ask whether they agree or disagree in this based technique. Well, here the role of teacher, as I mentioned before, is quite simple. Just providing them with everything and then get out of, not the class, but get out of the groups. We have one activity now with you, that is Socratic seminars and dialogic teaching. In Socratic seminars, mainly discussions and problem-solving skills of children are being inspired by teachers. So teachers are more likely to give some questions specifically about today's or previous lessons, and they are held accountable for answering the questions related to the given instructed vocabulary and grammar. It's mainly based on It's mainly based on a bit philosophical approach. Now, could you please read the poem? Onu biraz bölgeleyebiliriz. Poemi. Do you see? No, unfortunately. If you want, I might read for you. As you don't see it, unfortunately, I will just read only several expressions from the poem, and I would like you to think a bit. The mirror doesn't teach. So I will give you one tip that is about teaching. So what do you think metaphor mirror suggests about reflection and learning here? So it says the mirror doesn't teach. What do you think can it be? Do you have any guess? Yeah, it says that mirror doesn't teach. Sorry? Amazing. So you think that mirror is a teacher, yes? Okay, so do you agree with this point of view, that teacher doesn't teach? Amazing.
And we always say that our classrooms are like mini states and mini families.
Yes.
So if they act kindly towards our students, they will be kind to us too. In this regard, I think that a teacher should be the mirror.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You think that the teacher should be a mirror, but a teaching mirror. But it highly depends on the students. Okay, so as we say, it's commonly believed from that children are the mirrors of their family, yeah? And taking from this example, you think that just teachers should be a mirror?
I just commented here. When I saw the mirror, I thought of the teacher.
Oh my gosh, thank you. So I suppose it comes because of your professionalism, maybe. Okay, thank you so much. So it says that the mirror doesn't teach the face, it only casts what time has drawn. So you can take it literally and in a figurative meaning. So you see, what does it say? It says that it only casts what time has drawn. So I suppose, from my point of view, the poem wants to say that a teacher not only herself or himself can teach one person, but the time that goes by or the environment that a student is in, and just while saying environment, we talk about the parents, the other peers of them, and everything, even the tools that a student has access to can create, can mold a person, a student as in a good learning environment. Thank you. Okay. And we have task-based learning teaching. Some minutes ago, we talked about reflective methods. They were brain-centered strategies. Then we went to more authentic problem-solving methods, techniques. And here we have task-based learning, which the teacher and the class focuses on the meaningful, authentic problems. And we have even experiential learning, which not only create a good environment, but also might change a student totally. So with experiential learning, a student can be more can teacher more self-satisfied, more, so he or she can believe in herself in terms of even delivering speech in front of strong crowd, or even she or he can feel herself very openly to express herself in every condition, no matter what happens. So one example of it is that we were trying to put the idioms in a good, let's say, word order. So I again brought them specific tools. Definitely they were given those tasks beforehand. I mean, 2 or 3 days before our lesson, I asked them to learn specific idioms, specific chunks. And then in the lesson, I checked not just by asking in a traditional way, but asked them to group with several students and come and answer my questions by showing it, by using, by touching, with a form of kinesthetic learning. And in another one, I talked about more experiential way. It was our lesson about learning vocabulary about movies. We learned the vocabulary, we used them, we implemented everything in our daily speech. And then, bunun sesi lazımdı. Bəli. That is a role play. They just wanted to. Sorry for disturbance. I couldn't keep myself laughing. That is about Hohan. Do you know Hohan? I suppose most of us have childhood trauma about Hohan. So they wanted to show that is horror movie, and they were exposed to Hohan's attack and tried to protect themselves. So no matter which techniques teachers use, as far as I'm concerned, the most significant thing is making the lessons more engaging, interactive, by providing students with every significant tool and a little bit being a friend with them. So if you if a teacher becomes more authoritarian teacher, students will not feel relaxed while communicating with them as well as answering their questions. Even just, they will be reluctant to participate in the lesson. That is the reason why I offer to all teachers to be inspirational, to be a source of motivation for their students. Thank you.